everybody, it's your boy D-Mac, man. Check this out. I'm in my garage. I'm about to turn up. I'm about to go ahead and do this show real quick and represent for all of the representatives. Let me go ahead and lower these noise-making apparatuses so I can get this thing popping. All right, so I said it, man. I'm like the Stephen A. Smith. Hold up, where my king hat? Where my king? I gotta find my king hat. Here we go, y'all. I'm coming. I gotta get all my king stuff together because, y'all, I'm on some king stuff today. All right, here we go. So yeah, like I said, man, see it, king. I'm like the Stephen A. Smith of YouTube. You know, I'm sitting back and I'm watching all of these different matches and, you know, I give my opinion here and there. Some people might like it. Some people might agree. Some people might not like it. Some people might not agree. But I'm still going to bring that daggone narrative to you. And I'm still going to come and give my point of view on the storyline. Now, I ain't even in the YouTube world like that. That's why I say Stephen A. Because, you know, Stephen A. is that guy, you know, he played a little bit of basketball in college, but he wasn't that good. He wasn't good enough to make it to the pros. And, you know, I get on this YouTube thing every now and then. I hit a couple thousand on my views and stuff, but I ain't really no YouTube celebrity. I ain't big balling like y'all dudes who got all of these thousands of subscribers and all of these views and stuff like that. But I know the game. I understand the game. And so I can come on here and I can speak to somebody who understands and appreciate this YouTube game. And so while I sit back and I watch these different factions go against each other, you know, I'm just taking my notes and I'm sitting there just looking at what's going on and I'm starting to develop my own idea of what's taking place. But I stay out of things. I stay in the background because, like I said before, I ain't no professional in these YouTube streets like that. I'm just a dude on here who like to talk, who feel like I have some good foresight on things, and I feel like I have some good, wise counsel that I can give at times. Sometimes I'm on, sometimes I'm not, but I come with it, and I'm always coming with a pure heart. And so, yeah, I'm the Stephen A. of YouTube, man. Whatever you want to know, come ask me. And I'm going to give you an honest to God's opinion. I ain't going to water nothing down for nobody. I don't have nobody behind me. That's the only difference between me and Stephen A. I don't have nobody behind me pulling the puppet strings. There's no puppet masters here. And so anything I said is fueled by me and my thoughts and what I view. And that's what I'm going to come with. You know, yeah, it's fun. I sit back. I'm always lurking. I see all of these people who are battling each other. I see all of these people who are going back and forth talking about other people's business and arguing, and they've made a whole nother person's business their business. And they be on here arguing about that stuff. And I sit back and I don't have no dog in these fights, not at all. I absolutely don't care about none of this stuff that be going on in these YouTube streets. It don't affect my life one way or the other. See, when you're a king, you're not worried about what's going on with the subordinates. You got somebody who's watching over that stuff. When you're the king, you don't sit back and worry about who don't like you and who has a problem with you and who was offended by what you said, because you're the king. You know, that's not a king's concern. A king's concern is worrying about how keeping his kingdom intact, how keeping people off of their neck, keeping his people safe within the kingdom. That's what the king is worried about. He ain't out here worried about what the Joker said. He ain't out here worried about what the what's it called, the jesters. You know, you got the court jesters who come in and they always cracking jokes. And really the court jester is the only one who can say something about the king because he's using satire. But if he's skilled, he can do it well enough to get a laugh out of the king while spitting some real facts about the king and what he doing. And so the court jester is really the only person who gets the audience with the king. Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about that. The court jester is the one who really gets an audience with the king because he's the only person who can really talk about the king, low key, flame the king up without the king taking his head off. And so there's a lot of court jesters running around out here in the YouTube world, and they worried about what the kings is doing in their kingdoms, and they arguing, they battling over things, while the kings are just sitting back, watching the battles, watching these people fight on their behalf, watching these people take the shots for them. But as I recall, kings back in the day used to be out there on the battlefield with their people. They wasn't sitting back while everybody else was battling and fighting on their behalf. The king was right there posted up. He might have been in the back of the formation, but the king was there showing his face, showing that, yo, these my people. This is, I represent this. They represent me. We here to put it down. That's how kings used to do back in the day. But nowadays, it seems like kings are just laying back and taking that laid back role, and they're sitting there and they're letting all of their soldiers fight all of the battles, and the king is nowhere present in the battle. And all of these little soldiers is falling to the wayside, and the king is nowhere. He ain't even on the battlefield no more. And so as I sit back and I watch all of these different unnecessary ass battles that y'all be having, and all of these unnecessary arguments and fights that y'all be having, I guess it's good for viewership. I guess it's good to get up viewership and get people to watch your content. But ultimately, if you willing to sell your soul for some views and some content, if you love to start things just for some views and some content, to each his own, man. But just know what's going to come along with that. And just know that there's no good that's going to come from that. You may go and even make some money off of that stuff, but that money is not going to prosper you in any type of way, shape, or form by the way that you got it in the spirit that you operated in to get it. A fool and their money are soon parted. That is a very wise saying, and a lot of people need to take heed to it because they wonder why they feel like they got holes in their pockets when they have money, but they can't have nothing. That's a hard concept to understand. I be having money, but I still don't have nothing. I don't have nothing to show for it. That's because a fool and their money are soon parted. And a lot of fools are out here thinking that making this YouTube money by belittling other people and by low rating other people and all of that stuff like that, you think that that money is going to do some good and prosper in your life? Well, then I'll beg to differ. I know that they wouldn't come on and admit it anyway. They'll come on here and they'll lie like everything is great and they just bought a brand new Ferrari off of their YouTube money. Yeah, I know how that goes, so I ain't even tripping on that. But you know, and I know what that YouTube money is doing for you and what it's not doing for you. So I'm just saying, man, I'm not talking about anybody in general, but I'm talking about everybody in general. Everybody. If you don't like it, then come see me. I'm on here. I'm live. I'll drop a link or whatever the case may be so you can come in if you feel like, you know, you have something to say or you feel offended by what I'm saying right now, because every time I come on YouTube, all I see is somebody talking about somebody. It's getting old. It's getting old real quick, man. What is it? The whatever they call it, the clubhouse or whatever they call it, it's getting old. How many times is we gonna hear about WAC 100 and the Bloods and the Crips and people pulling up? How many times we gotta hear that stupid shit? I'm sick of hearing that. I'm sick of hearing people talking about pulling up. I'm sick of people talking about all of these dumb things. All of these dumb things. I'm sick of people talking about who's better. I'm sick of people talking about which group is most savage. I'm sick of all of that because ain't none of y'all savage. All of y'all some scared little boys. Every last one of you. The ones who are famous and the ones who are not famous that's on here. All of you a bunch of scared little boys. You do all of this talking and all of this yapping. Not one of y'all is willing to set up no type of daggone fight. I put out a challenge months ago for a daggone celebrity boxing match against any content provider on YouTube. I ain't heard nothing but crickets. Nothing but crickets. Y'all jump on here and y'all talk all that noise, talk like you so big and bad. Put them gloves on and jump in the ring. If you got so much animosity and so much energy towards somebody, jump in the ring. You ain't willing to do that, though. You ain't trying to see that right there. All you want to do is pop them gums and run that mouth. I ain't about that. And I'm telling you now, I don't have no beef with nobody right now. I have absolutely no dog in nobody's fight. But I'm telling you now, anybody who wants to come out their mouth with D-Mac in a negative light, the next movement or the next action is putting on some gloves and finding somewhere where we can have this fight. Because I'm not going to do all of that back and forth with you on here. I don't care about views. I don't care about likes. So I'm not going to jump on here and give you that energy that's going to give you the views and the likes that you on here fishing for. Nor am I going to be on my platform doing that crap, getting any views and likes, because that ain't what it's about. If you really got a problem with me and you really can't work it out by talking, then you need to come see these. You need to come see these. And if you're not willing to come see these, I suggest you keep your mouth shut, because we're not going to have no conversations. I'm going to give you that PSA, and that's going to be it. If you're not willing to accept my challenge, then keep my name out your mouth completely 100%. And that's just that. Period, point blank. You know, I don't come on here to bother nobody, but I see how people are starting to drag other people that are associated to people into their drama. This is what I'm starting to recognize. Oh, well, so-and-so said so-and-so, and when I felt a certain way because when so-and-so said this, everybody laughed at. Look, man, that ain't got nothing to do with me. And so whenever y'all start doing stuff like that and trying to pull other people into your beefs and into your fights and into your battles, bro, you're going to get what you asked for. So like I said, anybody out there, I don't care who you are, keep D-Mac out your mouth. Good morning, Cynthia. I'm telling you plain as day. Keep D-Mac name out your mouth. D-Mac don't bother nobody. D-Mac don't do nothing to nobody. D-Mac is here to build. D-Mac is here to help people to grow. And I'm not going to involve myself in anybody's bullshit. Period, point blank. I looked all over my house. I've been searching my house for the last week or so to try to find a fuck to give, and I haven't found one yet. And nowhere. I looked under the cushions, looked in all the drawers, looked out here in my garage. Look at my garage. I done tore my garage up trying to find a fuck to give, and I give absolutely none for what's going on YouTube with all of the drama and the stupidity, period. So like I stated, if you got a problem with D-Mac, or if you feel like you want to drag D-Mac into your mess, it's going to be just like this. Whatever you say is going to be said. I'm going to reissue the challenge for us to lace up the gloves and we can go settle it in the ring. I'm not a big talker. Even though I love to get on here and talk, I'm not a big talker. I'm not doing all of that with you. You're going to have to prove to me that you really got some animosity towards me. Because if you're not willing to go in there, put on those gloves and fight it out, then you ain't got no problem with me. And you need to go sit down somewhere and keep my name out your mouth. Period, point blank. I see way too many people pulling others into their conversations and pulling others into their fights and all of that stuff. For what? For what? There's absolutely nothing to be gained from all of that toxic nonsense and that he said, she said bullshit. Y'all sound like some little chaps. Yeah, that's the word my grandma always used. Y'all sound like a bunch of little dumbass chaps. That's what you sound like. That's exactly. Well, he said that I was this and I felt like when they did that they should. Man, kings don't do that, man. Kings don't deal with that stuff, man. You come and tell the king what was said. The king makes an example. That's it. That's it. I'm on some king shit. I ain't on that peasant shit that y'all doing out here in the game. I'm telling you now. That's why I got on what I got on today. I'm on some straight king shit. So if you coming with them little boy games and them little kid games, I'ma overlook you. You ain't even on my level. You don't deserve my energy. Period, point blank. You know, there's a lot of times when I sit, like I said, I sit back and I just watch different content. Sometimes I be wanting to say something, and then sometimes I know that it's not worth it. Sometimes I know that it's not worth it. I don't have to defend a lie. I'm not going to try to defend a lie. If somebody tell a lie on me, then that lie just be out there. I don't care about that lie. That lie ain't got nothing to do with me at all. They put that lie out there. That lie is going to go out and do what it was meant to accomplish and come right back to them. So the energy that come back to them off of that lie that they told, they got to deal with it. But I'm not the type of dude, I don't have to defend myself. I really don't. When people put out lies, and I understand what they're trying to do, they're just trying to make content. No, you can have that one. Go ahead and make your content. Go ahead and make your content. Because people that know me, then they know they go ask those questions. You know, I don't have to say nothing. The king don't have to say nothing when he being lied on. It's a bunch of times people lie on the king to try to get the narrative to be changed, and they may have their own political aspirations going on, and they want to try to dethrone the king. So they gonna go out and put out rumors about the king. But if the king went out and responded to every rumor that a peasant put out about them, then he'll lose his mind. So some things you just have to overlook and then let them know. If you got anything to say to me, bring it to my face. I don't do the he said, she says. I want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. So if you're going to come to me and tell me something that somebody said, I have that person with you. Bring that person with you. Don't come telling me what somebody else said secondhand. I'm not going to respond to nothing like that. I got to hear it from the horse's mouth myself. So that goes out to everybody. And I don't know, man. It's been a beautiful day so far, but I felt like I had to get that off my chest, and I had to let that be known before something gets too far and I actually get pulled into it, because I'm seeing where a couple of these conversations are going, and some of these conversations have been generalized to the point to where it's all inclusive of everybody that's dealing with these other people, and people who are not smart enough to recognize that, hey, that don't apply to me, so I'm gonna let it fly. You got some people who don't have that type of discipline within their emotions, and they gonna take it offensive, and they gonna start coming after you. So be careful what you be saying out here on these shows and on these panels and shit, because when you all inclusive and you make these generalized statements about people, you don't know who all is included in that person's circle. And so be mindful of what you say. Like I said, there's been a couple of conversations that I've heard back and forth to where there's been some generalized statements made about certain groups of people. And, you know, I could have taken it a certain way, but I chose not to. I chose to overstand that. I chose to be the bigger person. I chose to leave it alone because I felt like it's not my fight. And so that's where it is. But I am going to put this warning out there, because I see as these conversations progress, that more and more people are starting to get sucked into this battle. And so I'm just letting it be known that I'm not the one for it. You can go and pick on everybody else, and you can go and have those conversations with everybody else. But that's not what it's going to be with D-Mac. We doing these. We putting on the gloves, and we going to go and settle it in the ring if we can't settle it in a conversation. Period, point blank. Period, point blank. So that's just my PSA for the YouTube world. My challenge for a celebrity boxing match will always stand. And anybody who feels froggy, you are more than welcome to jump. Because I'm not going to talk a whole lot. I'm not that talk a whole lot guy. I save my words for building people up and for having a good show and discussing real important issues, not some hearsay. So this is your boy D-Mac, man. For everybody who's coming on for love, everybody who's coming on for support, everybody who's coming on to build, I salute you and I love you right back. For everybody that's coming on for nonsense and toxicity, I'm your Huckleberry. Strap up. I'm out.